Hello, welcome to this presentation of Mobile2Sage. My name is Ara Martirossian and I'm going to show you how to create self-billing invoices from timesheets submitted by subcontractors in Sage. So the scenario is quite typical in lots of companies who are project-based. So what happens is you use subcontractors for their specialism. The subcontractors then submit their timesheets, and those timesheets can typically be done using iPhones, iPads, browsers, on a Mac or a PC using Mobile2Sage. Those are then reviewed by the project manager, who can then also authorize them on a variety of devices, and they can then either approve or reject those timesheets. The ones that are rejected are then emailed back to the subcontractor for them to resubmit or correct errors. But the ones that are approved then have to have two tasks completed. The first is the time needs to be allocated to the project, and that depends on the rate that the subcontractor has agreed with the company. And the second thing that happens is the timesheet that has been approved then needs to be costed using the agreed rate again, and that then needs to be posted to the suppliers. In this case, the subcontractor supplier's account, and a copy of the self-billing invoice also needs to be sent back to the subcontractor for completeness. So let's do this in Mobile2Sage. So the demo is as follows. I'm going to log on to an iPhone, and then I'm going to create a timesheet. Then I'm going to log on to a browser and log in as subcontractor 2 and do a timesheet. I will then switch over to an iPad and pretend to be a project manager, and then I can then authorize and reject those timesheets and sign them as proof of review. And the PC then is then used by the accountant, who then looks at the authorized timesheets and imports those into Sage projects. But at the same time, the system also creates some self-billing invoices and posts those as purchase invoices into Sage at the same time, completing the cycle. And finally, a PDF email is sent to each one of the subcontractors for the timesheet that they have actually submitted. So let's have a look at this in action. So here I am on the left hand side. I'm on my iPhone. I've already logged in as a subcontractor, and what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go into the timesheets, and these are my previous timesheets that I've submitted. I'm now going to just add a new one. So the first thing I'm going to do is just add a project. So I'm going to go and pick project 1. It's going to be some labor, and I did some, I don't know, electrical testing, for example. And then I can add a signature to it to say, actually, let me clear that. I'm going to call that sub 1. There you go. So that's me done and dusted. And it says, well, what time did I start? Well, I started at 9 o'clock, and I finished at, let's say, 4 o'clock. So that's 7 hours. And I'll just save that. That's my timesheet done, and I can obviously add extra ones if I wanted to. So that's the interface on the iPhone, and at the same time I could also put in some expenses if I needed to. And that's timesheet reference 1291 to project 1. Great. So now what I'll do is I'll switch over to my web browser over here where I've logged in as sub 2, and I will go into exactly the same timesheet for subcontractor 2. And I can see that timesheet there. I can then add my own, and I can obviously tailor this to just show my own ones if I wanted to. And again, for this one, I'm going to go to project 1, and for this one, I started, let's say, at 10 o'clock, and I finished at 5 o'clock. We'll do 4 o'clock again on that one. And here I prepared project docs. That's it, and I'll save that. Now, a couple of things to note here. I have got the default rates based on what Sage has already defined for me, and we'll go and have a look at that in a minute. I've also got the ability to say whether it was on-site or off-site. So in this particular case, if I say this was on-site, then the rate automatically changes by an extra £2 because I get a higher payment to the subcontractor if it was on-site or off-site. Okay, so let's keep it nice and simple, and that's what I've got. So I'll now save that. So the timesheets have now been imported or entered by subcontractor 1 and subcontractor 2. Now what we need is the project manager to authorize it. So let me get this browser off, and what I'll do is I'll bring the iPad on. So there's my iPad, and I've already logged in as the project manager. Let's make that a little bit bigger so we can see what's going on. There we are. So what I'll do here is I'll now log on to the subcontractor's timesheets, and as the project manager I can see that I've got 2 timesheets there to authorize, so I can just authorize that one and say OK, and I can then authorize that one and say fine. At the same time, what I could have done is I could have rejected those and sent an email back. Okay, that's it. So those have now been saved, and basically I've now completed the authorization process as far as the project manager is concerned. Brilliant. So now the team in the accounts department are going to look at what they should be importing. So if I now just again go into the timesheets in here and just look at those and show new and approved timesheets. There we are. So those are the 2 timesheets that have now been entered and approved for subcontractor 1 and subcontractor 2. And I can also just look at a timesheet report which shows me all the timesheets that everybody has submitted if I wanted to. And now what I want to do is import those into Sage. So all I do is literally press one button, and what that will do is it will take those timesheets and it will then look at creating project transactions, and it will send me an Excel spreadsheet which we'll have a look at in a minute, detailing the fact that subcontractor 1, and here's the invoice going to subcontractor 1. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to send that to myself so we can have a look at it ourselves in a second. And it'll then, there it is, there's a second invoice for subcontractor 2, which we'll have a look at. And finally what it's doing now is just importing those into Sage for me as project transactions and also a purchase invoice so that I can pay subcontractor 1 and subcontractor 2. So let's go and have a look at these emails first just to see what we've got. So this was the self-billing invoice for subcontractor 2. If I open that up, it gives me details of that. It's a self-billing subcontractor's invoice. It gives me a date, it gives me a reference, it tells me how many lines were submitted, who it was submitted to, and I've got some details on there as the default nominal code and tax codes which I've picked up from Sage. And it also tells me that on the 20th of March I worked on project 1, I did 6 hours at a rate of £30 and I prepared some project documentation, which is what I entered on my timesheet. The other self-billing invoice is for subcontractor 1. And he did, again, 7 hours, some electrical testing, and these are the details for that subcontractor. And that's the Excel spreadsheet, which shows details of the invoice being imported into Sage. So let's go and have a look at it in Sage. If I open up Sage, here's my supplier list, and I can see subcontractor 1 and 2 are all subcontractors in the system with a default nominal code. If I go to my projects, I have got various different projects in here, and if I looked at the resources, I can also see subcontractor 1 and 2 have been set up as resources. So now if I just go into project 1 and look at the activity on it, and go to the bottom, there you go, do some project planning and do some electrical testing, which were the timesheets we entered on the iPhone and on the browser. Now if I go then to the suppliers accounts, there's a suppliers accounts, and go to subcontractor 1, for example, and look at the activity on that. There we are. I can then see there's a self-billing invoice that's been done for 7 hours for subcontractor 1. And if I look at subcontractor 2, which is further down, let's have a look at that one, subcontractor 2, and look at that. And there you go. There's the project planning documentation that he spent 6 hours on at £30 an hour. Really simple. So, just to recap, we entered a timesheet on the iPhone, logged in as subcontractor 1. We then entered a subcontractor 2 timesheet using a browser, and finally we went onto the iPad and we authorized those timesheets. The accountant then logged onto his PC, looked at all the authorized timesheets, and automatically imported those both in the project ledger and the purchase ledger in Sage for paying the subcontractors for the work they've completed. And finally, PDFs were emailed to each subcontractor. So, Mobile2Sage architecture is a very flexible architecture which allows you to share information from your office to remote users. And these can be all online or offline. They can be on a PC, a Mac, a browser, or iPhone, iPad. And it caters for data both in and out. And it works on any version of Sage. So the key features, well, we've looked at creating timesheets today, but it can be used for all sorts of things like sales orders, quotes, invoices, purchase orders, and it uses iPhone and iPads, which have got excellent cameras. So those can then be used for barcode scanning. We saw the ability to capture signatures, and that can be used for all sorts of things. In our case, it was timesheets, but it can be used for proof of delivery. And the other thing to note is that its sync capabilities are both in and out of Sage. So in short, Mobile2Sage is Sage on the go. Key benefits: very quick and easy to set up, typically less than a day, and it's very cost effective to run. There's a free trial available, so please feel free to send us an email so that we can discuss that and set that up for you. And it works with any version of Sage, so there's no need to upgrade. Its key strength is that you can share data with your staff, customers, suppliers, and stakeholders. And it is used very often to automate paper-based business processes. It's very easy to create prototypes, so please feel free to contact us if there's a particular one you'd like to automate. Thank you very much for your time and interest in Mobile2Sage, and I hope you found this presentation of creating self-billing invoices from subcontractor timesheets of interest. Please feel free to call me or email me if we can be of any help, and we look forward to hearing from you in due course. Thank you.